The only Warrior not named Stephen Curry that has averaged more than 22 points in the past 5 seasons is D'Angelo Russell in his short 33-game tenure that was aided by a Curry hand injury. Now Lauri Marrkanean has averaged 25.6 and 23.2 points in the last 2 seasons on nearly 50, 40, 90 shooting. Let's see why All-Star 4 Lauri Marrkanean is the perfect fit for the Golden State Warriors. We'll talk about Lauri in a second, but first, let's focus on the Warriors. The Warriors haven't been contending for a few years now, but this year was the first time they missed the playoffs without major injuries in a decade. But that doesn't mean they were a bad team. Even with their subpar defense, they ranked 8th in offensive rating at a solid 117.8. With their quick ball movement, 3-point shooting behind Steph and Klay, and the emergence of young players like Paz and Kuminga, the Warriors still were able to make the play-in. Even with some success, they don't match up with contending teams in the West. The Thunder, getting second-team All-Defense member Alex Caruso, are still getting better. The deepest team in the league, the T-Wolves, get Rob Dillingham, increasing their depth. The Nuggets and Mavs are as good as ever. Even the Grizzlies are set to get Ya back this season. To compete with this, they need to build on their 3-point shooting and work on putting pressure on the rim without Steph Curry's gravity. As you see in this play, the threat of Steph's shooting forces Kleber and Finney-Smith to allow a wide-open dunk. Except for off-ball movement from Steph and now Buddy Hield, scoring inside is a major problem. The Warriors were 20th in points in the paint. This puts Steve Kerr between a rock and a hard place heading into next season. They could do this by providing a runway for Jonathan Kuminga to thrive as a starter entering his 4th season. But how do they do that without asking Draymond Green to start the season as a 34-year-old, 6 feet 6 inches starting center? This is where Lauri enters. As you see in this clip where he had 49 points, Lauri isn't only a great 3-point shooter, but at 7 feet he is a great lob threat and interior scorer. He won't only open up space for Kuminga to operate, but as a good playmaker, he can play in the same mold as Kevin Durant. When most of us think of KD, we think of a prolific scorer, but he is so much more than that. When we check this graph, we see that before playing with the Warriors, he averaged 3.2 assists per game. After joining the Warriors, his assists shot up to 5.4 assists a game. He opened up space for Steph and Klay and allowed players like Kevon Looney to score side. In OKC, most of his buckets were one-on-one takes to the cup from the wing. When he joined the Warriors, he became more versatile. He scored on DHOs, catch-and-shoot plays, and even some pick-and-roll action. He helped lead the Warriors team to a 67-win season. This is the role I believe can see Lauri could play. Sure, he's no KD, and he won't lead the team to the same amount of success, but he already has a lot of these aspects in his game. This will also elevate Steph, who had been carrying a heavy load on offense. Basketball is a two-way game though, but I still believe addition helps them on the other end as well. KD became a DPOY candidate after joining the Warriors. Lauri Marrkanean is by no means an elite defender, but Lauri also could step up on defense. Last season, the Warriors were ranked 21st in defensive rating behind teams like the Wizards. Lauri is by no means a good defender, but he isn't a liability. The Warriors' front court does have some upside on that end with guys like Kuminga, Trace Jackson-Davis, and Draymond. So being surrounded by some better defenders could help the team improve on that end. Plus, with the signing of De'Anthony Melton will help them on the perimeter. Even if they are only a middle-of-the-road defense, they can replicate the success of the Kings 2 years ago. By leveraging their elite 3-point shooting, pass and ball movement, and experienced veterans, this team can go on a deep playoff run. Thanks for watching. For more, subscribe to the channel.